For decades, flashing a US passport was like holding a golden ticket, VIP access to most of the world, no questions asked. But that privilege? It's starting to crack. Why are countries that once rolled out the red carpet for Americans now slamming the brakes? Is it politics? Payback? Or a global wake-up call about how the US is viewed abroad? Visas that used to be waived are now slapped on. Entry fees? Rising. Security checks? Longer than ever. The message? Loud and clear, the global travel game is changing, and America's not getting a pass anymore. So smash that like button if you value your freedom to travel, and let's dive into 10 countries where Americans now need a visa, because the world's welcome mat is slowly being pulled back. Number 10. Brazil. Oh, Brazil. Land of samba, soccer, and now surprise. Visa fees. Starting April 10, 2025, if you're an American, you're not just packing sunscreen. You're also coughing up $80.90 for an e-visa. And no, it's not instant. Expect to wait around 5 business days, minimum. And I know what you're thinking, come on, it's Brazil. They love tourists. Yeah, they used to. But now? They've basically posted a giant neon sign at customs that reads, "Pay up or keep walking, gringo." Let's just call it what it is, payback. You know how for years Americans strutted into Brazil like it was their backyard? No paperwork, no stress, just vibes and beach selfies? Well, now Brazil's saying, cool story. Now do what we had to do for decades when visiting you. And honestly, can you even blame them? Americans love to pretend they're the world's favorite guest. Newsflash, we're not. We're the guy who shows up to the barbecue empty-handed, eats everything, then complains the music's too loud. So yeah, Brazil decided to bill us. And if that stings, good. Maybe now you'll remember your passport doesn't come with a backstage pass to the planet. But hey, let's also laugh at how petty this feels. $80 and 5 business days? That's not just a visa, it's a we're done playing nice tax. Brazil saw your flip-flops, floral shirt, and weak attempts at Portuguese and said, you know what? No. Not for free. And the timing? Oh, it's poetic. Right before summer travel season. Right when Americans were about to descend like seagulls on Copacabana. Brazil said, not today, Uncle Sam. I mean, how do we go from no visa needed to please fill out these forms, upload your documents, and wait nearly a week? Like, what did we do? Oh wait, it's the reciprocity rule. You made Brazilians get visas to visit the US? Now they're just returning the favor, with interest. So here's the truth, if you still think traveling as an American is easy, you're not paying attention. The rules have changed. The red carpet's got wrinkles now. And Brazil? That was just the appetizer. Stick around, it only gets spicier. Smash that like button if you're tired of travel politics getting in the way of your passport stamps. And drop a comment, is Brazil being fair? Or just flexing? Let's argue. Number 9, United Kingdom. Let me tell you about Jessica, 28, from Atlanta, big fan of Sherlock Holmes and British tea. She finally books her dream trip to London. Flight's ready, bags are packed, playlist queued up with Adele and Ed Sheeran. She's buzzing. But right at the gate, she gets stopped. Ma'am, do you have your ETA? She's like, estimated time of what now? Boom. Trip cancelled. Didn't get her electronic travel authorization. Just like that, goodbye London Eye, hello crying in airport bathrooms. And here's the kicker, you could be Jessica if you're not paying attention. As of 2024, the United Kingdom rolled out a brand new system called the ETA, and by 2025, even layovers won't be spared. Yes, you read that right, even if you're just passing through Heathrow on your way to Spain, you'll still need one. It costs £10, about $12 and 34 cents, and it's valid for 2 years. But don't get too comfy. Processing can take up to 3 business days, and if your timing's off, you're grounded. The Brits are saying it's about border security and modernization, but let's be honest, it also feels like a subtle flex. For years, Americans walked through UK borders like they owned the place. Now, the UK's handing out digital hall passes and saying, request entry, politely. And don't think you're safe just because you're transiting. There was a brief exemption for airside layovers, but even that's being reviewed. Translation? No one's really safe from the paperwork anymore. Now, let me talk to you for a second. Did you even know about this? Be real. Drop a comment if this is the first time you're hearing about the UK's ETA. You're not alone. And it's why we're here, to give you the facts before your dream trip becomes a logistical nightmare. So smash that like button if you think this new travel maze is getting out of hand, and tell us, is the UK being reasonable, or just playing the same game the US started? And don't even think about clicking away. Coming up next is a country that's not just charging for entry. They're making Americans feel like uninvited guests at their own party. You'll want to see this. Stick around. Number 8. European Union/Schengen area. Tasha had it all mapped out. 1 backpack. 4 countries. 10 days. She called it her eat, pray, love, and maybe cry in Venice tour. Paris for croissants, Amsterdam for bikes, Rome for pasta, and a quick stop in Prague just to say she did. Flights were booked. Hostels locked. Passport fresh. But guess what she didn't have? ETIAS. The new magic word Europe's throwing at Americans like confetti at a breakup party. She shows up at JFK, eyes sparkling, only to be told, sorry, you're not going anywhere without your ETIAS authorization. Boom. Vacation cancelled. Just like that, the Eiffel Tower turned into an air fryer back home. Starting mid-2025, every American traveling to the Schengen area, that's 30 countries, including hotspots like France, Italy, Spain, and Germany, will need to apply for this little digital permission slip called ETIAS, which stands for European Travel Information and Authorization System. Cost? €7, around $7.50. Valid for 3 years or until your passport expires. And yes, even if you're only laying over for a few hours, you still need it. No exceptions. Europe said, you want in? You play by the new rules. Now before you roll your eyes like, it's just $7, pause. This isn't about the money. It's the message. Europe is joining the trend of making Americans apply before entering. It's no longer show up and vibe, it's apply, wait, pray it gets approved. And yes, it could get denied. They check your travel history, criminal records, and even security risk levels. It's their version of border Tinder, and you better hope you get swiped right. This is Europe's version of the US ESTA program, but now the tables are turning. Reciprocity, they say. But it feels more like revenge, with paperwork. So here's my question to you. Did you know about ETIAS before today? Be honest. Drop your answer in the comments. Let's talk about it. Are you okay with this shift, or do you feel like travel is becoming a luxury maze for the privileged and prepared? Smash that like button if you've ever dreamed of a Euro trip and don't want bureaucracy to kill the vibe. And don't even blink, because coming up next is a destination where they've stopped rolling out the red carpet and started rolling out the red tape. Stick with us, because the next one will make your jaw drop. Number 7. China. Ever wondered what it actually takes to visit a country that built the Great Wall by hand, but now builds walls of paperwork instead? Jordan sure didn't. He had it all planned out: Beijing's temples, Shanghai's skyline, dumplings in Xi'an, even a detour to see real-life pandas doing absolutely nothing for 12 hours a day. But the moment he tried to book his trip, boom. Hit with a reality check wrapped in red tape. To enter China, you now need a full visa, no shortcuts, no exceptions. And it's not cheap. $185 upfront. For what? The privilege of visiting a consulate in person, getting biometric scanned, filling out piles of forms, and if they feel like it, providing an official invitation letter from someone already in China. This isn't a travel application. This is a diplomatic obstacle course. And here's the twist. Once you survive the process, you get multiple entries for 10 years. Sounds great, right? But that's assuming you made it through round 1 without needing a lawyer, a printer from 2006, and a blood pressure monitor. Why the drama? Well, this is bigger than just tourism. China's doing what the US has done to their citizens for years. Call it reciprocity, call it payback, call it global chess. Either way, American passports aren't the golden keys they used to be. Now here's where I need you, yes, you watching this. What do you think? Is China being fair? Just matching energy? Or have they made visiting one of the most historic nations on Earth way too complicated? Let me know in the comments. Because this isn't just about flights and stamps anymore, it's about how the world sees American travelers today. And trust me, if you thought this was strict, wait till you hear what number 6 has in store. It's a country that used to welcome Americans with open arms, and now? You'll need more than a passport and a smile to get through the door. Stay tuned. It only gets wilder from here. Number 6, India. Look, I get it. India is magical. Spices that slap your taste buds awake. Temples older than most countries. And weddings that last longer than some Hollywood marriages. But let's talk about what's not magical. Trying to get in as an American in 2025. Let me say it loud. You can't just roll up to Delhi in cargo shorts and expect a spiritual awakening. Nope. India now says, back it up cowboy, you need an e-visa. Sounds easy, right? It's not. The cost ranges from $25 to $80, depending on how long you want to stay. And yes, it's digital. But don't let that fool you. This ain't Amazon Prime. They've got strict rules, document uploads that make 0 sense, and if you mess up a single field, guess what? Rejected. Start over. And just when you think you're in the clear, surprise. Biometric checks upon arrival. Because nothing says welcome to India like getting fingerprinted after a 16-hour flight and 3 crying babies. Let me tell you about Erica. She booked a last-minute spiritual retreat in Rishikesh to find herself. She found something alright, an error message on her visa portal. She tried to call the helpline. Guess what? No one answered. She flew anyway, thinking she'd talk her way in. They talked back. And they sent her right back. See, India's not playing around anymore. They're tired of being seen as some budget yoga destination for Americans trying to heal from breakups. They're tightening up. They've watched how we treat their citizens, and now, they're flipping the script. But here's where I flip it back. If we're calling this fair trade, let's be honest, this feels personal. India knows Americans love the culture, the food, the spiritual pull. So now they make you jump through hoops, swipe your card, scan your eyeball, and smile through the pain. And you know what? Most Americans will do it, because we romanticize the chaos. But let's not pretend this is a friendly gatekeeping policy. It's a border-sized middle finger, and no one wants to say it, so I will. Let me hear from you. Does India have a point? Or are they just turning a travel dream into red tape hell? Drop it in the comments. Don't hold back. And listen, if you thought India was bureaucratic, wait till you see what number 5 does to your nerves. Let's just say, you'll want to sit down for that one. Number 5, Russia. Imagine spending months dreaming of standing in Red Square, soaking in centuries of history, sipping vodka in a fur hat, pretending you're in a Bond movie. Now meet Paul, a 36-year-old travel vlogger from Austin, Texas. Paul thought Russia would be his magnum opus, the trip that'd finally blow up his YouTube channel. He booked flights, planned a cinematic drone sequence over St. Basil's Cathedral, even practiced saying spasibo with the right Slavic grunt. But guess what Russia said? Not so fast, American. You can't just waltz into Russia. You need a traditional visa, and not just any visa, an official invitation letter. From who, you ask? That's your problem. A hotel, a company, a friend. Someone has to vouch for you. Paul had none of that. He scrambled. Got the invite. Paid the $160 visa fee, non-refundable, of course. Then came the consulate visit, biometrics, fingerprinting, and the kicker, you must register your location within 7 days of arriving or risk being detained. And no, this isn't paranoia. Russia doesn't play. With US-Russia relations colder than a Siberian winter, things have only gotten more intense. Entry rules are strict, paperwork is heavy, and your travel plans must be airtight. This isn't tourism, it's diplomacy disguised as a vacation. And yet, Americans still try to go. Because let's be honest, Russia is majestic. From Moscow's grandeur to the haunting beauty of Lake Baikal, it's a bucket list beast. But this beast has claws, and they come out at immigration. So now I ask you, is it worth it? Would you go through all that trouble for a trip that might end with someone copying your passport in a dim hallway? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from the brave, the bold, and the heck no crowd. And don't wander off, we're just getting started. Number 4 is the one that truly shocked me, because it used to be one of the easiest stamps in our passport. Until now. Stick around, what's coming next might just change your travel plans for good. Number 4, Australia. You ever dream of going to Australia? Kangaroos, beaches, hot accents, and that carefree no worries, mate attitude? Well, guess what, mate? Worry. Worry a lot. Because if you're American, you're not just hopping on a plane anymore and landing in Sydney with a surfboard and dreams. Oh no. Now you need an ETA, an electronic travel authority, for a country that once welcomed us with open barbecues. $15 bucks, downloaded through an app that works about as well as a gas station bathroom lock, and it has no visa on arrival option. Let that sink in. And no flexibility. And don't even think you're getting approved in real time. Denials happen, and sometimes they take days. Days. So you miss your flight, lose your hotel booking, and get slapped with cancellation fees. All because a digital approval algorithm decided your passport was suspicious. Now I get it, every country has a right to protect its borders. But Australia? The same country that literally has a higher population of snakes than people? Now suddenly they're screening US? Oh, the irony. Let me tell you about Jenna. She's 29, from Denver. Works 60 hours a week, saved up for a dream solo trip to Australia. She did everything right, applied through the app, paid the fee, triple-checked her info. And guess what? Application stuck in review for 12 days. No updates. No hotline. Just canned emails and anxiety. She had to cancel her trip. Want to know why it was flagged? Because her middle name was missing a hyphen. A hyphen. So here's my take. Australia just made itself feel more exclusive by making it unnecessarily difficult. It's the same high school energy of a cool kid telling you sorry, party's full, while 50 people just walked in behind them. I'm not saying don't go. Australia is stunning. But they've just made it a digital maze, and you better play by their rules, or don't come at all. So tell me, does that sound fair? Are we now the ones getting gate-kept at the beach? Drop your opinion below, because I know I'm not the only one fed up with this. And don't even think of skipping out. Number 3 is going to rattle some feathers, especially for those who thought the Pacific was still friendly territory. Strap in, this ride ain't over. Number 3, Egypt. You ever chase a dream so long, you start shaping your identity around it? For Marcus, Egypt wasn't just a place. It was a lifelong obsession, his escape from the noise. Since he was 12, he'd draw pyramids in the margins of his notebooks, mumble ancient hieroglyphs under his breath during math class, and spend nights buried in mythology books while everyone else played video games. So when he finally saved enough money at 38, working double shifts at a warehouse in freezing Chicago, he booked it. Round trip to Cairo. 11 nights. A guided tomb tour. A cruise on the Nile. But here's where the fantasy meets a brutal wall. Egypt requires a visa, even for dreamers. A $25 single-entry e-visa, or $60 for multiple entries. Apply online, submit your itinerary, hotel bookings, and cross your fingers. Marcus did everything by the book. Everything. Except one thing. His travel insurance dates didn't perfectly match his return flight. A 12-hour gap. Denied. Just like that. No appeal. No refund. No second chance. He stared at the rejection email for hours. Then his hands started shaking. The silence in the room was deafening. Now imagine that, your dream country, the one place you'd romanticized since you were a child, slamming the door in your face. Because of paperwork. And if you're thinking, well, I'll just figure it out at the airport, slow down, Pharaoh. Some Egyptian airports allow on-arrival visas, but not all. And if you land at the wrong one without an e-visa, they'll send you back. No debate. No apology. And it gets worse. Israeli stamps in your passport? That might flag you for questioning, delays, or denial. Politics doesn't pause for tourism. Cinematic enough for you? Because it's real. These aren't travel hacks anymore. These are obstacles. And for people like Marcus, the price isn't just money, it's heartbreak. So now I ask you, is this fair? Is it justifiable for nations sitting on global wonders to raise invisible fences made of red tape? Or is something much deeper at play here? Drop your thoughts below, because number 2 is coming next, and it'll expose the most shocking entry requirement on this entire list. And trust me, you're not ready. Number 2, Bolivia. So here's a question for you. How many hoops are you willing to jump through for paradise? Because Bolivia? It looks like a dream. Salt flats that mirror the sky, mountain towns that hum with ancient energy, and rainforests that breathe adventure. But for US citizens, just getting in feels like an obstacle course designed by someone with a personal grudge. Let me tell you about Dani. She'd been working double shifts for years. Motel receptionist by day, Uber driver by night. No Cancun, no Disneyland, she wanted Bolivia. She saved up. Bought a second-hand backpack. Watched 38 hours of vlogs. She was ready. Until the visa requirements hit like a brick to the face. $160 visa fee, exact cash in US dollars. That's right. They don't make change, they don't do cards. Show up with a crumpled $200 bill. Denied. They want proof of funds. Hotel bookings. A round-trip ticket. And here's the big one, a yellow fever vaccine certificate. Not just a random shot at CVS, a very specific travel vaccine that's not available everywhere and costs a small fortune. Dani didn't know. Nobody mentioned it clearly. Travel blogs skipped over it. Agencies didn't warn her. So she landed in La Paz, shaky, jet-lagged, heart-pounding with excitement, only to be pulled aside at immigration. Where's your yellow fever card? She blinked. I didn't know I needed one. They blinked back. That's a problem. 5 hours. A cold bench. Her dreams dissolving with every passing minute. She missed her shuttle. Her hotel cancelled. Her trip almost ended before it began. And quick pause here. From our stats, we've got more viewers outpacing subscribers. If you've been watching, enjoying, and learning something new, kindly join our community. Thank you. Alright, back to it. Now listen. I'm not saying Bolivia isn't worth it. It is. The beauty? Unmatched. The culture? Alive. The stories you'll come home with? Priceless. But make one mistake, miss one form, and you're out before you even get in. So, what do you think? Is this overkill or just Bolivia protecting its treasures? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and hold tight, because the #1 most frustrating country for US travelers is next, and trust me, it's the one that'll make you question everything about how free your passport really is. We've tackled Bolivia's cash-only visa chaos, Egypt's itinerary interrogation, Australia's digital wall of denials, Russia's fingerprint fortress, India's biometric bureaucratic dance, and China's invitation-only travel maze. Each one had its own level of, "You've got to be kidding me." But now, we're down to the final spot, the country that takes the crown for making it the hardest for Americans to get in. But before we get to that, I've got a question for you. Which country do you think deserves the #1 spot, and why? Is it the cost? The crazy rules? Or just the straight-up vibe of no thanks, stay home? Drop it in the comments, we're watching. Alright, let's get into the final country. And trust me, this one might just blow your mind.